My name is Carlos Walker. This is Art and Hustle Black Authors Matter. And today I am here. If you will say your name,
Charles Bellon.
Mr. Bellon, if you will share a little bit about who you are and technically what you do.
But my name is Charles Bellon, as I said. I'm 46 years old. As of right now, I'm incarcerated in Pennsylvania, in the state of Pennsylvania. Uh, what it is that I do, well, first and foremost, I just want to thank God. I want to thank God that I'm having this opportunity to talk to the world, talking to this wonderful brother who reached out. And that's just a blessing of his own. I'm serious about my faith. I'm a Christian. That's what kept me balanced over these years. And notwithstanding, the madness that occurred in my case, it occurred, at the sentencing, so on and so forth. And by me being incarcerated for this time, I've been fortunate and I've been blessed that it was a real lawyer that came to prison. Now, before he came to prison, I always stayed in that law library. I worked in the law library 15 years. I'm a certified paralegal. I help countless men get relief in the courts and go home. And in the midst of me doing these things, his name Kevin Heron, he came to jail DUI, and he trained me. He trained me for 2 years, and we argued and fought throughout them 2 years. Now, I don't want to say throughout them 2 years, at the beginning, because he was training me, because I had a style of what I had to do, how I was doing it. But he's a professional, he's a lawyer. And a lot of things I want to say that we do as a pro se litigants or anybody that's fighting these cases, we always look at our situation. We look at what's going on with us and how are we looking at the law. And Kev taught me you can't look at just the law from how you see it. You got to look at the law on how they doing it to us. So instead of you just taking a narrow position, you got to take your position, but you got to distinguish their position and to show how your position is right. And that's one thing that I really learned. And from that point on, I was winning a lot of cases because they throw a lot of stuff at us that don't apply, and you got to explain to them why those situations and circumstances do not apply. Sitting in prison at this place is really depleted from a spiritual perspective, from a legal perspective. I did my best to stay busy and just continue to work whatever job I have. And I was sitting in the cell a lot of times more than often. I got all this knowledge, and after me helping a lot of guys, one of the guys came up to me and said, "You need to put that in the book." And that's what I did. I took all the information and knowledge that I had, which was thoroughly researched, and laid it out for people like us, people that's incarcerated that really need help, that set the path for them to try to get them back in position and not let them get any misunderstandings about how to pursue this thing.
So, number one, I want to thank you. I want to thank you for taking the time to do your due diligence to deal with self and learn. This been 15 years of technically you have a PhD in law.
I like that.
The reason why I'm saying this became your university, but two, it takes years for people to actually get a PhD. Technically, roughly around 10. You're 15 years in. You might as well say 5 years of practice on added on to that if you was out here. Two, you have also been trained by somebody who had been trained to do so.
I want
And
to say something about him too. I want to say something about him real
go ahead.
fast. So when Kev left the prison, Kev got disbarred. Well, Kev had two instances. One, he got in trouble doing some inside trader, so they give him a suspension. This time, they wound up taking his license from him, so he got disbarred. Lo and behold, he went out there and got a job with Todd Moser, who was the lawyer that was representing me during my first habeas corpus petition. So he
This
went out there.
only
He went out.
only God can write a story like this where things come
Amen.
full circle. So
Yes, so
I
he's
know.
working right now in
I,
Philadelphia. Todd Moser.
so one, I know why you wrote the book. You wanted to give back uh, to people who don't know, who are still in this situation. Even the people who may not know, who need to read this book, who have never been in a situation. So that's number one. Number two, I want to ask you, other than your own your own situation and somebody coming to you, what drives you?
Uh, Frankly, to be honest with you, the passion. This is something that I want to do. The God gave me this gift, man, and I'm really picky about what I do and how I do it, and that's why I really get the results that I've been getting with a lot of men. So, uh, Frank, say that question again, because I want to try to answer it the right way.
Basically, what drives you to do and write to what's the drive behind the book?
Uh, the truth, the truth, the truth, the truth. And there's a lot of misconceptions about men, about being told what to do and how to do things. And also, too, from me losing more than often when I was doing my appeals and stuff like that, uh, I just I want to say the Lord. The Lord just gave me this gift to serve people, and that's what it is. You know, some people are who they are, and because they are who they are, I can't change who I am. And so when I see somebody that really needs help and that don't have the money, that don't have these things, I do it. That's just what it is. It just cuts my soul. It cuts the spirit. Like being in the library and you seeing people come in and they don't know nothing. And but then you know more than they know. And then they looking at something a certain way and it's wrong. And I know that I can help that person. So I just naturally do it. I organically do it because I'm good at it. I'm not boasting, but I'm a beast, man. The Lord blessed me with this gift. He blessed me with the right people that educated me and helped me, and I enjoy with drivers. I enjoy helping people. I enjoy giving back, man. And I just feel like on the other side of the thing, what I know is that God gonna do what He gonna do on the other side of it. That's just how I see it. So no matter what the situation is, no matter what the finances are, if somebody got a legitimate situation that I can help them with, I just do it. That's what you're supposed to do. That's the right thing to do. And I
I
just enjoy
appreciate
helping people. And
you.
I'm not gonna lie, I enjoy putting my foot on their necks. Mine so long. They put theirs on their long, and that's one of the things that I write about inside the book. You know what I'm saying? Is that I teach them how to constrain. Matter of fact, I want to read one of the cases that I did, and it's in here. I think it's Commonwealth versus Smith. Actually, here it is. And here's a quote straight from the court because I didn't waver on what I believed in. I didn't waver on. I knew I was right, and I wasn't going to get distracted or detoured by the other arguments. But quote, here it. This is what the Superior Court said in the 2019 decision that I did. Here, Smith relies heavily on Johnson to argue that his sentence is illegal. Thus, Smith asserts that he should have only been subject to a 20-year maximum for each of his attempted murder convictions. We are constrained to agree. They didn't want to
Mm,
give it to him, just like they don't want to give it to none of us. And that's what you got to do. You got to lock these people in. So when I see situations that I know, like I don't like to promise nobody. A lawyer can't even do that. A lawyer can't say, "Hey, I guarantee this." I tell brothers when I did it, when I know what I know. There's another brother that just went down. He's waiting to go see the board. Uh, Rashad, and when I did some work for him, and the lawyer came back says, "Damn, who did this?" And he said, "That's my man Chuck. My man Chuck did that." He said, "I ain't got to do nothing." He wound up going back down, and like I told him, and like I tell other people, listen, bro, I can't guarantee you this, but I can guarantee that something going to happen here. And so I just like the drive is really just helping the men, helping the people as much as I can. And when I flip these people and I flip them over and make them do their jobs and apply the law, that's kind of the reward. I like to say one time I did get bitter. It was January 2018. I did this guy case. Uh, it won, it flipped. And I said, damn, man, I'm for you. I'm all about you. But when it's going to be my turn, man, I'm helping all these people and, you know, they flipping it. And he's like, bro, don't worry about it. Your time coming. So that was 7 years ago, 8 years ago. So
I'm gonna tell you, bro. One, I appreciate you sitting down and writing the book. I don't know when your time is gonna come. I promise you I don't. What I can tell you is that you can't tell a tree when to produce fruit. You can't tell God when to
Mm,
move, but what you can do is trust that God moves. He still got you
mm.
there for a reason because there may be some people who still need you there at this moment to do what you're doing. Over that last 7 years, you've been able to still free people. That guy that you did from that quote that you read out your book. If you hadn't have been there, if you ever came home, that wouldn't have happened. God is still refining you in the midst of this moment. As much as look, I want you home now. I understand what it's like to be there. But
Yeah,
more than anything, I know that you're doing God's work and you're allowing yourself to be used. You wrote you just when did you just published this book, correct?
yes.
The book wouldn't have been published if you had been home.
And I say that to myself too. A lot of things wouldn't have happened how they happening right now. And I find purpose in the pain. I really do that. And yeah, you're right about that. You're absolutely right about that. But I would say this though, if that wouldn't have came about, like I'm not turning my back on God. Like, I'm not going to be ignorant to what he did, what he accomplished in his life to the maturity level that he has me on. And nor am I going to forget the men and women that are here that are incarcerated. Like, I did start, it didn't really get, but I did buy the domain for, prolific paralegal, and that's something I'm going to do. I'm going to reach back to all the. I'm going to put an ad out there. I'm going to do my advertising to try to touch the people that don't have the money that need help, and I'm going to continuously help people when I'm out there. And I'm really good. I don't boast, but I'm good at this stuff. I'm so good at it.
When
And
you know what God done gave you, you can boast not in you but on God. So technically, I
that's right.
know what you're doing. Trust me.
Yes, yes, yes. Yes. So,
So back to the book.
all right.
What do you want or what is your plans for it? I know what is created for, but what is your plans for it? Who do you want it to touch? What do you want it or what do you want the reach to be? Share with me that.
I wanted to. Well, it's a national book. It's just don't focus on one state, and that was I wanted to reach the country. Like I was telling my son yesterday when we was talking. It's probably about 1.8 million people that's incarcerated right now. And
Mm-hmm.
at the beginning, yeah, it's something like that. I did some research on that, and a lot of them people don't have money to afford lawyers. So. Uh, I just wanted to get into the right hands of all the people that's in the fight, that's in this battle, because it is good. It's a really good book. It's a good read. Uh, you feel comfortable as a layman reading it. It might be some things complicated or a little bit complex, but that comes on for that individual to try to understand certain things themselves, because you could give it to them, but they still got to put in the work themselves. But when I
Mm-hmm.
looked at a lot of law books that was out there that I read, majority of those books is a lot of jargon. It's a lot of stuff, and I could have filled in the gaps, by putting a lot of jargon in there, but I didn't want to do that, and that's the difference between a lot of books that are out there and this book. This book is like a couple guys that read it in here. They love it. They love it. They love it because they understand it.
Mm.
Understanding a lot, yeah, they understand, and a lot of stuff that we be reading when you don't know certain things, like it's just hard to comprehend. This don't It's not hard to comprehend for the average reader. And
Mm.
that's what my teacher taught me. Kev taught me this. Kev said, when you writing, you did your job when the layman can understand what it is and you can still get your legal point across.
That's powerful. One, I want to shout out to Kev because I appreciate you. Well, shout out to you because you had already did the due diligence, but I want to thank God that He brought Kev your way only to add more value onto everything that you had already put the work in for. Because what it has you now, I'm a big believer in debate. You started this off sharing how when you're having most people who are impacted, they argue from the emotional standpoint and their situation, but they don't look at the opposite situation and argue from their situation, make people move on their situation because of the argument.
Right.
Being that I am a big debater, a big
Yeah.
advocate
I
for
want to say this.
debate.
I got the chills when you said that because that's what we do, and I write about that too. Like when you dealing with these people, you got to take the emotions out of it. You
You
got to
know,
look at the whole situation and say, even if they are who they are, these people are who they are. They're crooked, they're corrupt, they're dirty. Once they get us in here, they don't want to let us go.
you
And
money,
you
you
got
money. You the reason. Look, those guards don't want you to leave. I'm gonna be honest. Look, they may say it, but they would lose a job. Everything is financially based upon you all. And I noticed because when it told the 13th Amendment basically said the only way that you can go back into slavery is if you commit a crime against humanity, so to speak. I'm just paraphrasing. But y'all became free labor and money for America to thrive off of. They still have systems where certain materials and things are being produced while in prisons. In the feds, they do army stuff. They don't have a company out here doing this. They're getting it done by free labor. Most of the prisons are ran by the inmates, not the guards. So they're still
right.
getting free labor. This is the thing. What I learned is this: when we learn as people who have been formerly incarcerated how valuable that we are to this system, the system changes. When you understand that freedom doesn't even start out here. Freedom starts in your mind. If
Amen.
you can get free in your mind, God makes this stuff right here where you'll walk through those doors in time, I promise you. But what I want you to do is keep impacting while you're there. If you can teach a law class, teach it because you might not be there long, but teach it. If you can start a debate program, which I would inspire you to, start a debate program because what it gets people to do is thinking. It creates free thinkers. You already know how to debate because I'm gonna say you're a lawyer because you have these skills. God blessed you with these skills and you know how to think outside the box. That's what Kev also added on to you. And what I'm going to share with you is in creating this, you create something where when you leave there, it will continue on to teach those that may not understand this. Even look, leave a couple of your books because those people going to need that book to still read and pass around there so then they can grow. You have
Yeah.
created something, or God has used you to create something that is going to help many. I'm thankful to God that I got to interview you. This is only the beginning of this. I
Amen.
pray that God uses you in the most profound way because you've did the work. This is just like a plant. You don't see the plant wise underground. It's pushing through dirt. It's going through the stages that it need to, that the root system is firm. This is your root system, bruh. You got a firm root system. What I need you to know is when you step up out of those walls, because your time here is gonna come. Ah, it didn't cut us off like I was sharing with you. Your time coming, bro. And what I need you to do, create something. Because it's mine. You already wrote the book. You can create law classes, anything. But continue on your journey because sooner or later that journey ends and you're gonna come out. And when you come out, I believe in everything that you said that you're going to do. And I know you're going to do it because you already have been impacted and you want to impact even more. So before we leave, I know Austin's still working to get you back on the screen. Give me a word of wisdom, some that may impact whether it's somebody in there, whether it's somebody out here that may be going through their own thing. What would you tell somebody to help?
Let me see. Let me think about that, man. Let me think about this. Oh, well, I got two. This is one that really kept me grounded. It says, the horses are prepared for battle, but it's the Lord that delivers.
Mm.
The ending of a thing is better than its beginning. Those were two verses. That's from Ecclesiastics, and one is from the Proverbs. I think that's the word of wisdom, man. You know, this God. Another word of wisdom is that the God that we worship, He is real. I know. I know what I know. What I can say over the years of just being a Christian, staying in the Word to the best of my ability. Uh, at the beginning, when I struggled, I kind of made it about myself.
Something happened.
Yeah, I made it.
Hold on, something happened. Yeah.
What's that? What you want me to? What's the question? But you can see me.
So you know, I can't see you. Something happened, but you say you made it about yourself.
Yeah, I made it about myself, and it was consuming me. And so when I kept getting my head knocked in, uh, I, I complained to God, and it was like, "Why me?" And instead of me saying "Why me," I asked for Him for understanding. That's what I sought. So I said, okay, Lord, I don't understand this because this don't make no sense. So instead of me saying this is wrong and this is that, I said, Lord, help me understand. Help me understand. And in the midst of it, I got better. I got better, but that's what really got me through it because even though I was still here, he always gave me everything I need. Like most recently, one thing I don't like this place. I think it's a terrible stop. It's kind of bad here. Certain situations, how they run it, I'm way out in the sticks, so I'm way far from my people and the culture, so on and so forth. But it was like they update those computers, and like recently, it was another case that came out of June 2025 from the United States Supreme Court, and pretty much it's just saying what it's supposed to say. It's saying everything right. And I just felt like God gave me that among other things. He gave me all the tools, everything that I needed to be effective to lay it down when I really was putting him in the mix instead of me trying to figure it out by myself. And that is hard. I'm gonna say that, brother. It is hard because when you know what you know, what you know, and it's not doing that, doing what it needs to do or what you would like it to do, that's the time that really it cooks me. It grinds me up. But like I say, I try to find balance and stay afloat and breathe because sometimes it's hard to breathe in this place.
It's also God showing you number one thing, patience.
Woo.
Because we want things to move on our time. We want things to move the way we want to move. And God is saying, look, I got you. All I need you to do, don't be content, but be content. Because if you learn how to do it now, there's nothing that can break this. Remember, this is your root system. All I need you to do is be patient with everything and watch what God do because God works in our impatience. He works in our situation when we think that it ain't working. It's always working. One of my favorite verses in the Bible is, and we know that all things work together for the good of those who love God and are called according to his purpose. I want you to know that you got
That's
purpose,
right.
bro. You was able to write this book, and this
Uh,
book is going to help others. And what I want you to know, you have helped others. If you remove yourself from where you are at, most of them people would not have been freed. They would have never gotten the help. So know that you're there doing God's will. You ain't being punished. You're being refined. With that, if you will, tell them where they can purchase your book. Tell them how matter of fact, if you want to tell people how we can help you, let that be known.
Well, y'all can buy the book. But no, I don't know. Like this is all new to me, the social media thing. I've been in prison for almost 20 years, 21 years, so this is all new. But it's just like I don't know, just I feel like I'm probably gaining a voice now, and that's the hard thing. I don't know how people. I don't know because the people going to do what they're going to do, but I do need help. I do need a lawyer. I would love to have a lawyer if I can get a lawyer. Uh, just help me tell the truth. I don't want nobody to make nothing up, to make it bigger than what it is. I just want people to help me tell the truth and let the truth do what it do. That's all I can really want. I don't need no more. I don't need nobody to twist nothing. Just tell the truth. Tell the truth. Help me tell my truth. Help me tell my story. That's all I could want. If they want to purchase the book, they're gonna purchase the book. I put in the Lord's hands, and the fact that you're here with them, we just started this thing, that tells me a lot about what's going on. How things are gonna go. Like I couldn't sleep last night. I was very anxious about this, man. It was a hard night's sleep. I was just pacing yesterday when my son told me, and then like when I went to sleep, it was like uh, damn, can it get here? I try to look my best given the circumstances to come out here, but yeah, just help me tell my story. That's it. Help me tell my story, expose the truth about what's going on. With my situation and other things, and if and genuinely, sincerely, if anybody that's listening to this of an incarcerated individual, like I'm telling you, this is a good book. This is a book that will help them. I swear to you, it would. It will equip them. It will prepare them, and it will help them know how to do what they need to do to help themselves. I know this. When I was giving it out to people, when I was giving it out, like I did one draft one time, and when I read the first draft that I did, it was bothering me because I was just like the lawyers. And I didn't want to be like the lawyers. I know more than enough than I need to know. So what I did was took the lawyer part out of it and I made the book human. Like
Mm,
me and you are talking, or I'm sitting next to that person talking with my arm around them, like, this is what you got to do, bro. This is what you got to do, sister. And it helps them. And so anybody that's like got an individual that's incarcerated, get the book, like, because it's going to at least prepare them. It's going to prepare them. It's going to help them. And however this go, however this thing bloom out to be, I will open up my line, a line of communication for questions for anybody that I can help. If they send me questions, I could be contacted. My son can give you the information. They can email me, and I will answer any question that I can answer about anything that can help somebody incarcerated to help their situation. That's what I would do. That's what I'm willing to do, and I will
look,
enjoy and love doing that.
and for you, anything you look, if I can help you, I want you to know this. You got a brother. Look, I'll make
Okay.
sure your son get my number, hit me. When God blesses me to be able to send funds, I make sure I do so. Uh, you got a brother, man.
Amen.
Love you too, bro.
Appreciate that so much. Love you too,
And,
brother. Love you too, bro.
and thank you too, Austin. So with that, my name is Carlos Walker. This is Black Authors Matter, and this is Mr. Charles Bellon, and that's Austin Bellon as well. Peace and blessings. Love y'all.